Hello, welcome back to Mini-Modelog. So I'm doing the put together for Zarbags Gitz. You've obviously seen the previous video. If you've not, it'll pop up in the corner in a minute. I unboxed these a little while ago and now we're going to put them together. So I've got everything in front of me that I need. I've got a pair of clippers, the GW ones, the instructions, and of course the two sprues. Now I'm hopefully going to do the easy ones first because some of these are actually just pushed straight in. So 9, 10, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, which are the bottom ones here, are literally just a case of snipping out the bases in the actual models, so there's no real push fit required. So we'll do those first, just because they're quick and easy. So, same as I've done with all my videos, I use the same clippers. You want to put the flat side against the model to get the best cut, and you've just got to look for the numbers that you require. So on this one, you're looking for 9 and 10 and 7 and 8. So it's basically these top four here. So those two bases plus those two models. So 9 goes with 10 and 7 goes with 8. So I'll just snip these out and get these ones made real quickly. I've got quite a lot of content coming for you this month, as well as it being Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everyone out there. I'm really looking forward to painting these guys because I haven't painted some night goblins in a very long time. I did have a small night goblin sort of army at one point because I had the original kind of 2nd edition or 3rd edition Warhammer. That's one of them. Dead simple, dead easy to put together. And then 7 and 8 again. So there you kind of two little archer guys from the warband done. And there you go, there are your two little archer guys from the actual Zarbags Gitz. So moving on, we're going to go back to the start of it. So we'll go back for this guy here. So that's the end result. I think this is Zarbag himself. And we need sections 1, 2, 3, 6 and 4. So it's basically 1 to 6 you need. So that'll be on this sprue still. So we're still on the same sprue, I believe. Oh, hang on. No, it's this sprue, I beg your pardon. And we want parts 1 to 6. So there's number 2, 3. So 3 and 2 are there. I'm trying to. 1 is that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just searching for 5 and 6, which might be on this. 5 is on this one. And 6 is on this one. So he's spread across the two sprues. So make sure you hunt and find the right parts. But first we need parts 1 through 3. So the first sections to put together are sections 1, 2 and 3, which are a sub-assembly. A little bit of plastic on there, so that's number 1. And then you get number 2. I believe that goes that way around, and then the whole thing is pinned together with number 3. So his head goes all the way through the body. So you place one on top of the other, and then that peg, which be very careful not to cut off by mistake, goes all the way through the two parts like that. It's a bit fiddly, take your time with it, but it does eventually all push together and you should end up coming on nicely. So that's what Zarbag begins to look like. You've then got parts number 6 and 4, which is actually the base and the kind of little toadstools. So you've got the toadstools and the base. Sorry for it going out of focus there. Be really careful with this because it's very fragile. Don't understand why they didn't actually mold that one onto the base, but they take a bit of a push to get in. There we go, and that's supposed to look like that. You've then got basically to pop Zarbag himself on the base. He has two little studs at the bottom, and you literally just slot him in to that part of the base there. But you'll notice now, when you're pushing these in, they do need a bit of a good old push, so don't be afraid of giving it a bit of welly to push them in. Obviously don't be too harsh because you don't want to snap any of the nice stuff that's there. Then you've got number 5, which again goes around the rim, but this is a little bit more difficult because you've got to bob that in there bob the big one in the hole, and then there's a very small one on his hand. You won't be able to see that in the footage, but a very small dot on his hand that you then need to put into his arm. So do take your time with this. Don't. There's no need to rush really, but take your time. Make sure you get it in where it needs to go. There we go. Mine's now in. It's not quite down at the front though, so I may need to find a way of pushing that down. Now I'm going to do something a bit experimental. I'm going to put my clippers together and use them as a way to push it down, hopefully. See if that works. It does. So as you've seen there, I've just used the clippers to help me push that bit into place. And like I say, it's supposed to go in his arm as well. So just keep persevering with that. Them little toadstools are a little bit sharp, so be careful. But that's what Zarbags should look like at the end. Really cool model. I really like the way these go together. A lot of these newer ones, you can't really see the join lines, where I always find with the Stormcast, you can always see the join lines in the shoulders, but these guys look really cool. So that's those three. And then you've got, and you've still got more. This is going to be quite a long video, I imagine, because there's quite a few of them. So we'll now go on to number 2 in the actual set, which is this guy here. He's got more of a ball and chain kind of thing going on. Looks like a Fanatic. So for this you need 15, 16, 17 and 18 from the sprue, which I believe will be on, it looks like it's split across the two again, because 15 is there, 16 is there, 17 is there, and then 18 base is on there as well. So do make sure you hunt right the way across the sprues to find everything. Be very careful when cutting them out as well, but I'll just cut these out. There's a couple of fragile bits with this one, because you've got the chain there, which is really fragile. But they're only 4 bits total. So you get parts 15 and 16, which is the main ball part, and they literally just push together like so. So they just push together into 2 bits. Like that, and you can see there's a ball at the bottom, there's a hole at the bottom, you still got the rest of him. Then you've got what looks like to pop that. With this, you've got to get the hole at the bottom. That is supposed to go in said hole. Not quite sure how, but it is. It's supposed to go in said hole. And then the other bit is supposed to go in there. So I'm going to have to probably see how this is going to work. To get them into the holes, just make sure you push fully. But that's basically how that's supposed to go. So that chain is supposed to go with the thing in his hand and in there, and there's his face, and then the chain sort of whips around the back of him. Then the whole thing uses a little peg there to go into the base. Like so. And then that's your Fanatic guy done. I'm loving these models, they look awesome. I'm really looking forward to painting them. Like I say, just make sure that it's fully pushed down and in. You'll know when you've got it, because you'll hear like a little creaky noise when you push it in. But that's the Fanatic. There's now only 1, 2, 3, 4 left. 2 of them look like they're, again, just clip out ones. So we'll leave those. We'll move straight to the ones which take assembly. So we'll move on to number 3, which is 19, 20, 21 and 22. So again, let's have a look for him. 20. I can't find number 19 at the moment. 19, 20, 22, and then I've got to find 21 and 21. So he's split across the 2 sprues again. Do take the time to hunt for them, because it will take a little while to find. But let's get these clipped out. This is very similar to the previous model, where you've got to push the head right the way through the model. So assemble your 2 parts together. So they're the 2 bits, pop them together so they are one. Then get the head, make sure you get it the right way up, and push it right the way through. You'll know when you've got it, because it will clip together quite nicely. and then the whole thing sits in the base. So this guy took a few goes to get in his base, but there he is. There's another kind of cool wizardy guy. I'm really liking the full group so far. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. Obviously this is a group of 9. The last 2 assemblies are for the squigs themselves, so we'll move straight on to those, and then the other 2 are very similar to the first 2 I did, the 2 archer guys that I did. They're just single models that go into the bases, so I don't think you need anything for that. But we'll go straight to the squigs. So for one of the squigs you need 24, 25, 26 and 23. So 23, 24, 25 and then 26, which I believe is on the other sprue, which is the base, which is that one. So let's take that one out. Be very careful though when you do take these ones out, is that they have little pegs that you don't want to clip. So what you want to do is you want to get your clippers and you want to clip at the very end of the peg, because you will need that peg. Be careful to make sure it's a flat cut, because obviously that peg goes into a base, etc. So I'll just cut this out. That's 23. So the first one of the squig comes in 4 parts. So you first want to take the 2 halves of the model, which is these 2 parts, and push them together first. See if I can tell which way they go together first, which is going to be fun. Like that. Okay, so this one takes a little bit of manipulation to get into place. I don't know if that's down to my bad cutting or whether that's actually the model. And then you've got the head which goes and fills that space, which should go I had got that in the wrong place a little bit, so that's better. And there you go, that's the first of the squigs. They're quite difficult to put together because they're quite fiddly, but you've got to make sure that this back leg's in the right place before you pop the head on, so do take your time with them. And then the last one is 27, 28, 29 and 30. Again, spread across the 2 sprues, so it's 27, 28, 29 and then 30. So always make sure before you chop out anything, you know where all your parts are on your sprue. With this squig, you've got to take the 2 halves and basically push them together first. Don't be afraid of really giving it some with the pushing. It does take a little bit to do. And then the head. And that's the other one. Be really careful not to snap off that toadstool. I almost did. And I'm probably going to have to do some green stuffing on this one to actually cover some of the kind of lines that you can see. But that's the other squig. I'll pop the other 2 together on my own. I hope you enjoyed this put together video. The next video I'll be doing is an unboxing for Eyes of the 9, so do look out for that, and I'll see you next time.